Hi, and welcome to a Sony Movie Studio Platinum 13 video tutorial. So, I'm just going to show how I make videos in the simplest way possible, because I always believe in the saying KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So, I spent hundreds of hours learning how to video edit, and this is based on all that experience. So, here we go. So, okay, first off, it's empty project, right? And you add media, right? Boom, I made a folder for the latest Cuphead episode that I'm making. And here it is, and I just copied the video I recorded. I use Action, see? This is what I use. This is what I'm using to even record this right now. So, well, this was 60 frames per second, so I use AVI recording. Normally, I use MP4. But Sony Movie Platinum, whatever, that's Action specific, so never mind. So yeah, I made a folder for the video editing program, and I put the video in it. And then I added the media here. So then you just double click it. And as you can see, I recorded with two audio tracks. This is the game audio, and this is my commentary and stuff. So the very first thing I do is I right click the video and I check this, disable resample. This is extremely important because resampling makes the video blurry. So even if you render it in high definition, it's going to be blurry. I don't know why it does that, but that's the default setting. So always when you import, just do that real quick. But then the next thing I do is, oh, and by the way, the audio is recorded 50-50 volume, so the game has the equal level of volume as the commentary, so that will need to be adjusted. So I always just do this real quick. I apply a few filters based on experimentation and just trying things out. And first one we do is the track noise gate. So I set it to minus 37 decibels, so all the hissing sounds, because I don't have a high quality microphone, as you could probably tell, so it has a lot of hissing below here, so this cuts that off. Alright, simple enough. Second one is the track equalizer. I read online that this one, the Fletcher-Munson curve, just makes the voice sound, I don't know, better somehow. But I made a little adjustment to it, and I saved it as a custom thing right here, second I call it, which, see, I just added just a little extra dip here because my voice sounded a little sharp in here. But you can modify this for your voice to make it sound, I don't know, more consistent maybe, or something like that. Alright, so then this one I don't use. You could remove it or whatever, but it's pretty much off right now. Nothing is going to happen even if you leave it. But let's say we remove it. And then I add another one. I use a simpler time compressor. I use this Express Effects Dynamics. What the hell just happened? Express Effects Dynamics. There we go. It added it. So this one I use maximize volume. Boom, simple. So that's all I do to my voice track. So what this does is all my quiet sounds, like if I'm whispering or something like that, is now as loud as me yelling. Well, I don't really yell much in my videos, but whatever. Basically, it equalizes my commentary, which is what you would want, right? For a YouTube video, you want to be able to hear the commentator clearly throughout the video. So this already, even though the audios are a 50-50 balance, this is already a pretty good solution, because at the very least, the commentary will never be quieter than the game. Alright, so the next thing I do is you go to the master audio output. So here, because I don't feel like going, because there's audio clipping, it could happen, right? Like let's say I play a part.
I don't understand.
Boom. You see how it went 3.3, blah, blah, whatever. So some people, they just go throughout the video, they play around with sound levels. But we're just making a YouTube video, something crazy. So what I do is, I do two things. First, I use a more advanced track compressor. Well, whatever, medium advanced maybe. And I use a soft limiter. So what this does, it doesn't cut off at the top sharply. So it's like maybe you hear like a pop where it cuts. It's more like a soft one. So it you get what I'm saying? Like it gradually lessens the sound towards the top of the decibels. But that's not enough. It might still cut off sometimes. So then I add a second dynamics thing here where I saved one. It's called, this is just a custom one where it's at -2 decibels, ratio to infinity. So it just helps to cut it. So look, if I play it now,
I don't understand. How are you supposed to get past that?
boom, you see how it was pretty good. Now it's still possible that somewhere in the video it'll clip past it, but who cares? It's just like a small little point. It's really not a big deal. So this is settings wise, it's done. So if let's say the game volume is still kind of loudish compared to the commentary, I could just go to the track volume here and just, well, whatever. I could just make it 1, 2, 3, like make it 3 decibels less here, because this is the master bus and this is the individual track buses. This happens before it goes into the final thing. So I could make mini adjustments here, and I usually, it's a pretty good solution. But let's see, like I would test it out. I played the video and see how the sound is to my commentary. So let's see.
I don't understand. How are you supposed to get past that? Great coverage with average. Way to go. There, the jump, because he shoots that thing. Damn, man.
Yeah, it seems alright.
Oh,
And for this particular video, this is already good. Like you could hear the sound clearly enough, and my commentary is definitely loud. So I that's it. I never make the commentary quieter here, so I go by the commentary volume. If the commentary is clear, and then the game volume is reasonable, then it's alright. I leave it. In fact, for YouTube, people like to make it real loud, so you can actually do this. You could raise the master pre volume before it goes to the compressors. Raise it by 3, so it makes everything 3 decibels louder. But you notice it still doesn't really clip. See, that's the usefulness of the clips.
right.
But it's pushing it.
You know what? Screw that duck.
But it's pushing it. But you know what? I'm just gonna leave it because it's already good enough. I don't know. I'm still conflicted whether to put +3 there or not. But let's just leave it. So, alright. So these are my settings for the project. And I never overwrite, because when Sony Movie Studio Platinum has this thing where when you import a video file, it asks if you want to use the video settings to overwrite the project property. I never do that, okay? So these are my settings for 1280, 720, 60 FPS. So it's 1280, 720 here, and here you just manually put 60 or 30, depends what you're making. Everything else is the same. And for the audio, these are my settings. Basically just the top, max everything out. There's no reason not to. YouTube doesn't even have surround sound, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, just max this shit don't matter. Yeah, these are important. No deinterlacing, all this stuff. Well, you can see, you can just pause the video. So now normally for the editing, I just cut it up, like I'll zoom in and shit, and see like this silence where I just start the video, and boom, like right here I start talking.
Hello and welcome back to Cuphead.
I try talking in deep voice and shit. So boom, I use split. This is important, auto ripple, because that means when you delete, see I split it, and I'm going to delete this, it's going to push everything, boom, to close. You see how it pushed it back to the beginning? Let me undo that. If I uncheck auto ripple, it's not going to do that. See, it's going to leave it this way. So you play around. Sometimes you want it to push, sometimes you don't. Maybe you're just trying to like move shit around manually. So just play around with that. So boom. So I delete this right here. And
Hello,
there we go.
Welcome back to Cuphead.
Nothing fancy. And then I just go through the entire video. But, well, this one, it was kind of like a long, just full playthrough. Let's see how it ends. I like to fade out. Just a thing I like to do personally. You don't have to do it. But let me show you.
Thanks for watching. Peace.
Damn, that was a nasal sound at the end there. What the fuck? But yeah, so I go to the fade control. and then I go right here. Then I just I selected all three. Use Control, right, like in Windows and shit. So then I like to go to 2 seconds. It looks like I'm stretching it real far, but it's just 2 seconds. There, see?
Thanks for watching. Peace.
There we go. Nothing crazy. In fact, let me even go back to the normal selection and drag it all back. Try to get rid of that nasal.
Peace.
There we go. See, that was good. And now we're gonna make the video. And this is the real good information that took me a long time. Let me just save it. Right here. These are my settings for making videos. Most of the videos, all the recent videos on my channel. So near to this episode, why is this says Ellie Noir, whatever videos? I can't change it there. Okay, so go to Cuphead Part 7 that I made. Select the folder. I don't remember if I should name it. Oh no, right here, that's the name. Or whatever, I just leave it on title. Who cares? Always go to advanced options. Okay, that's important because nobody fucks with the default options. So this is it. I use main concept AVC. And I got 2 settings, 720p 30 frames per second, 720p 60. Now we're going to be exporting this video in 60. These are my 60 FPS settings. So you can pause the video, use these settings if you'd like. They work fine for me, honestly. It looks good. If you have NVIDIA card, you can render with CUDA. If you have ATI, use OpenCL. Or use CPU only if you have to. Yeah, so I use this bitrate, whatever. You can look at it. There we go. Audio is this. I mean, shit, 384 I think is already pretty damn hot. Let's see. Yeah, everything else is whatever, same shit. So this is my 60 frames per second, and this is my 30 frames per second template. It's the same exact shit, except the bit rates are different, lower, because you don't need them to be that high, obviously, for the less frames. I think if I make it 1080p, I'm pretty sure that I use maybe this one for 1080p. Nah, for 1080p, I'm pretty sure all I would do is use this 720p bit rates, but 30 FPS. So 1080p at 30 FPS, you could use these bit rates. I think. I mean that's probably what I would do, but I would double check in Google. You just Google it. But I don't really make 1080p videos anyway. If PewDiePie doesn't make 1080p videos, I don't need to make 1080p videos. That's what I say. Didn't I change this folder? Oh, geez, what the fuck is this? Alright. Boom. And that's that. You see? So to reiterate, summarize, I import the video. I disable resampling. I set some audio effects on my commentary. I set some audio effects on the master volume. I make sure the video editing settings are right, and I make sure the export settings are right, and do some editing that I gotta do, and that's that. And if necessary, you can always adjust the volumes for the audio tracks themselves if you want to find that interbalance between the 2 clips, and if you just want to make everything louder altogether after you've balanced it within the clips themselves, you could just use the master bus and notch it up a little bit. In fact, fuck it. Let me do it. Let me just notch it up. You can always make it quieter, right? And let me see. Let me test for clipping. Just start from the beginning. Go to start. Boom.
Hello and welcome back to Cuphead. Let's get going. Let's see what they got. This is a tough one. Oh, okay, that's... Oh, I'm an idiot. Bad.
Alright, you saw how I clipped at the end over there? 0.5, a little bit. Who cares? No big deal. Mostly it's going to be alright. So, there's going to be cutoff. The compressor, that's what it does. That's its job. But it's going to also make, this is overall going to be louder. But people in YouTube like shit loud, I guess. But go always turn the volume down. And as long as you don't hear that distortion from the sound, you should be alright. Because I like this approach because the game audio right here. I didn't normalize it. I didn't compress it in the track itself. So all the dynamics are consistent all the way, at least to the end. At the end, yeah, it compresses it a bit from the top, but it's just limiters. It's not actually like trying to make anything louder. It's just limiting it. It's different. While the only thing that actually changes the dynamics is for the commentary itself. But that's what we want, right? We want the commentary to be consistently loud, consistently clear to hear. And yeah, that's it. Now I'm just gonna go here for completionist purposes. Let me just show. So boom, boom. Select 60 FPS. Boom, and render. And that's that. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you out. Peace.